Hi guys, my name is Daga and I want to talk about love today. It's so weird because I'm wearing this necklace with a heart and 2 years ago I wouldn't be even able to, maybe a year ago, I wouldn't be even able to put it on because I thought that a heart is just childish and silly. And now I wear it because I know that love, it's the driving force in our life, and this is the reason why I want to start a conversation about love, and it's been on my mind for a while, so I think I'm finally ready to speak up about it. And today I want to talk about 7 steps to open up to love again. And the reason why I want to talk about it is because I've been working with people and I noticed that opening up to love again, it's a very difficult and challenging process. And once you were hurt, once you were betrayed, once your heart was broken, and once someone cheated on you, it's very difficult. You know, we all went through this. It's very difficult to trust again and to open yourself up again and step on this path of giving your heart to someone. I know I'm speaking also for myself because it's been a huge challenge for me for years, and I think I got to the point that my heart is finally open, and I want you to I wanted to share what I did. So there are 7 steps, as I said. The first step is to just surround to love. Well, I shouldn't even be using the word just. It wasn't just for me. And I started it over 2 years ago when I met my mentor, Dr. Pam Denton. She asked me to do it. My heart was shut down, and I had no idea how much I was close to love until she asked me to do this, to just say out loud to myself when I'm by myself. I didn't even have to do it in front of other people, just to say out loud, I surrender to love. It was painful. It was painful. I wasn't even able to say it. This is how deep it was. I wasn't even able to say it. And it took me a while to say it and to admit it and to really surrender to love. And it was a process. It didn't happen in a week or 2. It was a few weeks process that I just continued saying this out loud. Just those words, I surrender to love. So I encourage you to do it. That's the first step. The second step, it's equally challenging. It's about forgiveness. And as we know, forgiveness, it's not the easiest task to do. I want you to forgive yourself, your mistakes, and I want you to forgive others, those who hurt you. I know it won't be easy, but this is necessary if you really want to move on. You do have to forgive yourself, the people you've chosen, and you have to forgive them for the way they hurt you. And what I did, one day I wrote down the list of the guys I had something with. It didn't matter if it was one day, a few months relationship, or a hookup. So I did that. I wrote down their names. I don't think I wrote it down. I had it in my mind, but you can write it down. And I went through that list in my head and I just forgave everyone. And what's more, I thank them. I thank them for being part of my life and for teaching me a lesson. Yes, no matter how difficult your experience was, and I believe that you've been through a lot. We all been through a lot. Doesn't matter how difficult it was, they were there to teach you something. So I encourage you to thank them also for that. That's the second step. The third step is to heal. What I did, I spent a lot of time with just myself. I cut men completely. I cut them off, and I knew it's necessary in order to come back to myself. And I spent a lot of time in silence. I was thinking a lot. I was reading a lot. I was listening to the music. I didn't use any apps, not that I was big on apps in the first place, but I just cut off any conversations with men to understand what is truly that I am looking for. And that helped me enormously. I surrounded myself only with people who care about me, only with something positive. And I had this honest conversation with myself. What is that I want? What is that I'm looking for? And most important, what was my part in it? Because remember, there are always two sides. Not only one side is guilty of the things that happen between you guys. There are always two sides. So I had to understand what were my mistakes and what I fall for. That's the third step. The fourth step, I want you to think about what relationship means to you. In general, what relationship means to you. Because also what I observed is that sometimes the reason why we are not in a relationship is that because our definition of relationship is not positive. We just associate a relationship with something negative. I worked with people who said that they were afraid that their private space will be invaded because this is what they experienced before. So why would you go into relationship if this is your first association? Others said that they're just afraid that it will be boring after 2 months because it's always like that. So why would you go into something that is boring? My association was that my freedom will be taken away from me, and I love my freedom. So I didn't want to go into relationship because why would I do it? Why? If my freedom would be gone. So you have to think of what's your definition of relationship? What did you come up for yourself? The fifth step is that we subconsciously set up some rules for love. We have some rules when we think love is present in our lives. And as I said, you don't even know that you set up those rules. Again, let me give you an example. I thought that love is only when you have a partner, that you have to be coupled, that you have to be in a relationship in order to have love. And then I understood that this rule hurts me because it means that I have no love if I'm not in a relationship, which is not true. So I changed my rules. I thought about it a lot. Yes, I do like thinking, maybe sometimes too much. So I thought about it, and I noticed that love is present in my life daily. I set up new rules. For me, love right now is when a friend texts me, when someone calls me, when a stranger starts talking to me on the street, when someone smiles at me in the street, when I get an email from my friend, when a dog wants to play with me. That's love, and few other rules. So as you can see, it's very easy for me now to get love on daily basis because my rules have changed. So I encourage you to think of what are your rules for love. And you set up those rules because of your experiences. The things that hurt you affected your rules. So you protect yourself. You set up, as I said, subconsciously to protect yourself, to not to be hurt again. So think about it. What's your rule right now for love? So we are going into the 6th step. I want you to open yourself up to the idea that love is everywhere. It's everywhere. As I said, you can see it everywhere. You can have access to it every day. And don't think that the only time you get love is when you have a boyfriend or a girlfriend or a partner or whoever that is. Don't think of love that way, because it hurts you. It takes away a lot out of your life. Love is a conversation with your grandma, with your father, with your mother, with your sister, with your brother. I think it's a rhyme. Open yourself up to the idea that you have access to love daily. It's up to you. It's always up to you. You have a choice. You can choose how you perceive love. And I want you to see it everywhere. And the last step, the 7th step, is that you have to fall in love with yourself. You do have to fall in love with yourself. I know we see only flaws. I know we see only the bad things about ourselves, but trust me, there is more in you. There is a lot of things that can be loved in you. And I want you to open your heart to yourself. Self-love is a foundation of love in general. We get from people what we give to ourselves. So if you want to get love from others, from a partner, if you want to find love, if you want to be in a relationship, you do have to give a lot of self-love to yourself. And again, it's a process. It doesn't happen overnight. You have to be very kind to yourself. You have to start with saying nice things to yourself, to acknowledge yourself, to not to beat yourself up for your mistakes or your flaws. And I want you to do one exercise, which might be a challenge for many of you. It was a huge challenge for me. If you have problems with self-love, if you don't know how to start this journey, I want you to go to the mirror and say I love you to yourself. It took me 3 weeks to say it, and unfortunately it went with a lot of tears, I admit. It took me 3 weeks to finally say it with a smile to myself. So I know it might be a challenge, but it was a great start, and it helped me enormously with my self-discovery journey. Okay, so that's it for today. I will be talking about love because it's on my mind, and when something is on my mind, it's done. Have a great day.